How are you guys doing? I'm Mecha64zilla, and ever since I was a child, I was always fascinated with villains. Villains like Megatron, Skeletor, Cobra Commando, and Darth Vader were always my favorites. But out of all those characters, my favorite has to be the Shredder. When I was a tiny kaiju, I was just bopping to the 2003 Ninja Turtle opening. And then out of nowhere I hear, "Watch out for Shredder!" This was the first time I saw a villain interrupt the opening, and because of that I was locked in. I couldn't wait to see what this guy can do. If you've ever seen the 2003 Ninja Turtle series or know anything about the Ultron Shredder, then you know he does not disappoint as a villain. Years later, I eventually watched the 1980 Ninja Turtle movie. This might be because of nostalgia bias, but I really love that Shredder as well. And this one line has been stuck in my head rent-free. "You are here because the outside world rejects you." Decades later, when I started becoming a comic book nerd, I checked out the IDW Ninja Turtles run. Out of all the Shredders, the IDW Shredder has to be one of my favorites. Just like with any version of the Shredder, he is very menacing. Heck, the first thing he did was kill Hamato and his sons. Yeah, in this version, Master Splinter and the Turtles are reincarnation of Hamato and his kids. Don't question it. The Shredder takes a long nap and wakes up in the present-day New York. Eventually, he finds out about Master Splinter and the Turtles. Several comic book storylines later, Shredder and Splinter fight to the death. The Shredder lost the fight and asked his old friend to give him an honorable death. Splinter became leader of the Foot Clan. It's weird, don't question it. Many storylines later, the Ninja Turtle comic was reaching its 100th issue, and to tie in with the comic was Shredder in Hell. This comic features a lot of lore from the IDW continuity. I'm gonna try my best to explain it, so without a further ado, let's begin. The story begins with a recap of Shredder's death. After that, it transitions to the afterlife where Shredder watched a young version of himself playing with a young version of Hamato in the forest. Moments later, Shredder hears a voice, and it turns out to be the voice of Takeshi Tatsuno. Takeshi is actually a former Foot Clan leader who was also the Dragon Vessel. Him and Kitsune were trying to resurrect the Dragon God, but unfortunately he died. Orokusaki, aka the Shredder, is the reincarnation of Takeshi Tatsuno. Ever since that, Kitsune and Shredder has been trying to resurrect the Dragon God. Anyways, back to the video. Takeshi Tatsuno began to beat up the Shredder and tried to drown him. But at the last minute, the Shredder was saved by Hamato aka Splinter. Splinter explained to Shredder that the reason why he was able to see his past life because they are a completely different person even though they share a same soul. Splinter also tells his old friend if he wants to get into heaven, he can't be a Orokusaki anymore. Shredder refuses his offer because he has to find a way back to the living world so he can be with his love, Kitsune. Splinter talks to his wife before joining Orokusaki in his journey. Also, Splinter turns into a small rat. The first thing that happens in their journey is that they get jumped. After defeating some of their foes, Shredder and Splinter see a familiar face.
Oh yeah, now that's the Shredder I know.
Gnarly. Lacking technique, but effective.
Guys, doesn't that rat look familiar to you?
Surprise, Orokusaki.
What did he say the last time?
Come, know you're better.
Yeah, better at losing his head.
Shut the hell up, Mikey. Yep, that's right, we have demonic Ninja Turtles, cause why not? The Shredder tries to reason with them, but it doesn't work. These turtles begin to beat up Shredhead, and then the Shredder gets jumped again. Out of nowhere, Shredder was able to tap into a hidden power, and he was able to defeat all his foes. The only enemy left was his dad, but he was defeated by Splinter. After all that, Splinter and Shredder finally had a moment to rest. However, Shredder saw a figure that looks like Kitsune and went after her. After entering the tunnel, Shredder was forced to relive key moments of his life. Finally, after all that, Shredder was able to have a peaceful moment, until he gets attacked again. Shredder doesn't fight them because he's so tired, he gets it, he's in hell, he does some bad stuff, he's sorry. Surprisingly, Talk no Jutsu actually worked this time, until something happens which caused the demons to fuse together. Shredder starts fighting this demon, but during the fight, Splinter gets killed. Enraged, Shredder starts chopping up the monster. While defeating the monster, he yells out, "Damn you! Damn you to hell!" After defeating the monster, he tries to save Hamato life, but it was too late as Hamato died on his arms. Unfortunately for Shredder, he does not have time to mourn. Takeshi Tatsuno once again returned with a demon army. Shredder tried his best to fight them, but unfortunately he gets captured. Shredder was taken to the King of Hell, aka the Dragon God. The Dragon God tells Shredder if they fuse, then he will be resurrected. But Shredder doesn't care about resurrecting the Dragon God anymore. He just wants to get back to his wife. Luckily for Shredder, Hamato got a second chance to save his brother. Shredder and Splinter managed to escape and return back to the forest. After all that, Shredder was able to meet the Dreamer, who is more or less basically God. The Dreamer gives Shredder the ability to fight the Dragon God. Shredder and the Dragon God begin to fight, and I kid you not, this fight goes crazy. Meanwhile, back in Earth, Kasumi doesn't know what to do. She can either bring back the Shredder or bring back the Dragon God. During this, Kasumi was visited by one of her siblings. After listening to her sister's advice, Kasumi knows what to do now. Kasumi kills her sister to use her blood to resurrect the Dragon God. Back in Hell, Shredder wants to defeat the Dragon God, but because of Kasumi's meddling, he wasn't able to. In the Shredder's last moment, he talks to Hamata Yoshi. During Shredder's last moment, he tells Splinter how to defeat the Dragon God, and the only thing he needs to do is bring back the Shredder. And that's how the story ends. Like I said earlier, this was a tie-in comic for issue 100. But if you don't want to read the comic, here's a quick summary of what happened in issue 100. The Turtles fight the Dragon God, but unfortunately they can't defeat the Dragon God, so Splinter sacrificed his life to bring back the Shredder. And since the Dragon God was using Shredder's body as a vessel, once again the Dragon God was sealed away, and Splinter's dead. I have not been keeping up with the comics, so I don't know if they brought him back or not. From the last time I read the Ninja Turtle comics, Shredder is completely redeemed and he's helping out the Turtles any way possible. I think Katsune's also turned good. That being said, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about Shredder in Hell. Also, shout out to Shiro, Spears Link, and Retro for helping me with the Turtle voices. Their socials will be in the link down below. And I'll see you guys next time.